It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is the morning edition for Monday, November 10th. I'm James Spann. We warm up in the short term, then a big cool down later this week. The coolest air so far this season. How cold? What about the next chance of rain? A lot of things to talk about here. It's a busy pattern, so let's go right into it. You can see strong energy back in the northwest United States, coming through Montana, Idaho, Wyoming. It'll be sharpening up big trough over the eastern half of the nation, pulling down very cold air in coming days. And it's cold this morning. In fact, some spots are below freezing, 30 at Haleyville and Gadsden at daybreak. Mostly mid-30s around here, but this air is very dry. We warm very efficiently. In many spots, we'll be close to 70 today. So you walk out the door this morning, you'll need a pretty big jacket, but later today you can get rid of those. But man, it is really cold over Canada and the northern states. Some locations on the Canadian border are below zero this morning here on the 10th of November. That is very cold for this early in the season. And we'll keep an eye on that air progressively moving southward in coming days. And we're going to start to feel it Wednesday. We'll really feel it on Thursday and Friday. And also up north, winter storm warnings from Montana through parts of the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and upper Michigan. As a big snow event is unfolding there, that kind of lays out where the big snows will be. Places like Minneapolis, St. Paul will get hammered. Marquette, Michigan. All of this, by the way, stays north of Milwaukee and Chicago and Des Moines. In terms of rain down this way, this is the rain for the next 5 days, valid through Saturday morning, and it shows barely enough to measure. And we could see a few sprinkles, a few raindrops tomorrow night or Wednesday morning. No big deal, nothing significant. But if you look at the 7-day, the numbers come way up to over 3/4 of an inch. This is valid through Monday morning of next week, and this is for a rain event we're expecting on Sunday that could be a pretty good rain for us, and we really need one. But let's get in there and dive into this and talk about it. So much to discuss. This is the GFS, the 06Z run today at noon. Strong energy over the Florida Peninsula, but that's moving on out into the Atlantic. But you can clearly see how this whole thing is starting to set up here. That big trough beginning to carve out in the northwestern states. And down below that, that's a big-time snow setup there. Got that 994 millibar low over southeast Colorado with big snows in the cold air. North of that from Wyoming and Montana, all the way over into South Dakota, Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, upper Michigan. But down here, what a beautiful day today. Sunny, how about 70 today? That's a big warm-up. It's going to feel good this afternoon. Now, tomorrow, that surface low is over Michigan, still snowing over upper Michigan and Wisconsin. The trailing front with a little batch of showers down through Memphis at midday and Shreveport. We think the day tomorrow will be dry and a good chance we'll see low 70s with a partly sunny sky. That'll feel very nice. That'll be the warmest day maybe for the rest of the month. So enjoy it. Now, this is tomorrow night at midnight, and you can see a little band of showers coming through here. And again, could it rain? Yes, but it doesn't rain much. The moisture very limited, and rain amounts under 1/10 of an inch. Many locations not getting enough to measure. And you see that very cold air to the north. That's a 1,050 millibar high that is over Montana and Wyoming. This is Wednesday, and the process begins of turning colder. The high will probably drop, and it's going to be a day where the gradient's going to be very tight. Up in the Tennessee Valley, maybe from Cullman north, the high will be in the 40s. Birmingham may be reaching low 50s, maybe mid-50s if we're lucky, and Montgomery could see 60, but clearly it's going to be a day of cold air advection, and the day will be dry. And I could see kind of a cloudy-ish type day, maybe a little sun, but no rain or anything. Thursday, thickness values are coming down, and highs drop in the 40s from Birmingham north. And we've still got a tight gradient. That's going to be a windy, cold, blustery day. I mean, just cold. We start the day, I think, below freezing around 30. And again, for Birmingham, I'd say the high 45 to 49. This is Friday. We've still got a pretty decent little gradient here. Friday morning is going to be very cold. We could see mid-20s in here. And you factor in that wind, and the wind chill index could push down into the 20-degree range, maybe even upper teens. That's the way it will feel like. But again, the air temperature should be in the mid-20s, and the high Friday will be in the 40s. The sky will be bright and sunny. And I will guarantee you it's going to be cold for the high school football playoff games Friday night. I mean, really cold. Okay, this is Saturday. We're dry. We start the day in the 20s. The thickness value is coming up a little bit, so we might make it up into the low 50s. Here's a look at the temperatures coming off the new experimental GFS, the parallel GFS that will be operational soon. It's got a higher grid resolution, which will be a very nice addition to our little toolkit here. But this is suggesting, and again, this is, big ball game day. Obviously, in Tuscaloosa, you got Mississippi State, Alabama, biggest game in the country. And this is suggesting Tuscaloosa might get up to 54. That might be a bit optimistic. I think low 50s are more like it. At kickoff, that's a 2:30 kickoff in Tuscaloosa. But once that sun goes down, it'll drop off into the 40s very quickly. And Auburn over in Georgia, you can see temperatures over there only in the 40s during the day, and that's an evening game. So again, very cold for that ball game in Athens, Georgia. So Saturday, cold and dry. But look at this, a good rain event coming in here on Sunday. A surface low is on the Gulf Coast, and understand with Arctic air north of us, that always makes us a little nervous on the northern flank of all of this, as the models often don't handle shallow cold air well. But I think there's pretty high confidence for Alabama, and this is just rain. And it could be a good rain, a good cold, steady, all-day rain on Sunday, with temperatures maybe holding in the, low 50s at best in the afternoon. This is suggesting the snow would be over Kentucky, towards Cincinnati and places like that. But if I were in Nashville, I'd say Nashville's a close call here. But for Alabama, just looks like chilly, rainy day Sunday. No mischief. And then Monday, all of that's gone. And Monday will be a cool, dry day with lows in the 30s and highs probably in the lower 50s. Go out there later in that week. This is Thursday, November 20th. Ooh, boy, that's another very close call. With winter weather mischief on the northern flank of that. And understand, this is absolute voodoo. This will probably be gone on the next run. But something like this could easily happen. Our friends up in Tennessee, that is a very close call for icy, snowy situation down here. That would be just rain. And then on the 25th of November, this is the end of the forecast. It's almost at Thanksgiving. And the heights are coming up, and that would suggest cool, dry, seasonal-type weather. We'll check the teleconnections that tell really a good story. The Arctic Oscillation stays negative through mid-month. That allows the cold air to be flushed out of the Arctic, and the North Atlantic Oscillation stays negative, which pushes the colder air into the eastern half of the country, which is what's about to happen. Look at temperatures coming off the ensembles. Coldest day should be Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And again, that 72 tomorrow, that's going to be our warmest day probably for the rest of the month, so enjoy that. And these are the anomalies coming off the CPC Outlook. This is for November 17th through the 23rd. Basically, the United States east of the Rockies looking pretty cold. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video here by 4 o'clock this afternoon. If you can catch us this evening on the live stream of the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.